troubleshooting. Gonna go offline real quick. Oh, there's Amber.
Oh, hi.
I
Don't go
love
offline.
this. We ain't going offline. Now we just need Justin. How you doing, Amber? There you go.
Hey, there we go.
Let's
Look at baby
go.
bro. I gotta bring out my shades now. Wait, hold on. All I got is a magic carpet hat.
Hey, that's all we need.
I like it. How's everyone doing today?
So good.
Very good.
I'm so excited for many reasons. First reason being we're actually all connected now, which is amazing. But
Yes.
I figured we can jump right into it. So I'm going to do a little bit of an intro, and then we'll get into the main event, which is you two. I'm Brian Reyes. I'm the Associate Director of Pop Rock Membership at ascap. First of all, happy AAPI Heritage Month to everybody out there. We're so happy to be able to celebrate this month with these two amazing guests and superstars, Amber Liu, Justin Park. To me, you know, you all are examples of AAPI excellence, right? And this is what this month's all about. So everyone out there in the chat, please welcome me in joining Amber Liu and Justin Park. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. That was a hell of an intro.
I try. So let's get into it. I have a few questions for you, but obviously this discussion's for you and for the audience out there. So we'll use these as a jumping off point, and if we get into other things, we'll get into other things. But I figured we'd start off by asking, how did you start out by getting into music? And like, tell us a little bit about like your cultural heritage, where your background's coming from, and like how you grew up, all that great stuff. Amber, you want to start?
I'll go first. Thank you. So I grew up, typical just suburban household. My parents, were very musical. I was actually the odd one out. My sister is an amazing, is it a flute? She plays the flute. A fluttist? I can't, I don't know the exact term, but she can like play like every instrument, can read music. She's super awesome at all that stuff. Was in jazz band. So I was like, grew up like going to her concerts. My dad would play like guitar. My mom plays piano, sings really well. And I was just like, I will attempt to play the drums. You know, picked up a little bit of recorder during elementary school. But I was always surrounded by music. I felt like I only like could really connect with people when I talked about music. So through that experience, I think I've just always had a safe place when I hear music. But then I got scouted for a girl group, which eventually became FX. Yeah, I've just been doing this ever since I was 15.
That's amazing.
That's the short version.
Yeah, Amber's a beast, guys.
Nah. Baby bro's a beast.
No, all of you guys who didn't know, Amber's been in the game for a long time, like since she was a child. So, you know, that's why she's so much more talented than I, you know. But I'm catching up. You know. I'm putting in my work.
Baby bro's got a new album coming out, and it's fire.
Yeah, Amber got to listen to some of the tracks. You know, we'll talk about that later. But shoot, well, hey guys, I'm Justin Park. A little bit about my story. Grew up in Los Angeles, never left. Always loved music, and much like Amber, actually, I wanted to have a start in K-pop when I was really, really young. Like when I was in 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade. You know, I would go to these auditions with like JYP, SM, YG, and I remember at one audition I wrote the lyrics on my hand because I knew that I would forget it. And you know when you do something knowing that you do something, yeah, obviously I looked at my hand and then they're like, nope, you're failing. So like, you know, it was tough for me, especially in the beginning, trying to get a grasp on my dreams and to see it become like a reality. And with time, you know, maybe like 6-7 years later when I was 18, you know, I actually started, you know, actually actualized my dream. I, you know, went out there, started working at studios, putting in the work, writing, recording, and then years later, here we are now. So a little bit about me.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, it's, I think the themes of hard work, putting in the work. That's going to be a big theme for us today as we get into it. So, I wanted to ask, so when do you think your first kind of big break, big opportunity was? And then tell us a little bit about like how you felt at that time when that happened.
Please, Amber, go ahead.
Oh, baby bro, you're too nice. I feel like, well, there was already a huge following for my label at the time. So my group FX had the blessing to just kind of already be on a very high pedestal in the beginning. We had a lot of exposure, had a lot of hype around us. But I think our actual break, was a song called New ABO. It has a lot of na 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 na, that type of lyric in there. A lot of interesting haircuts and a lot of interesting styling. But I think that was when I think FX really took off in like really solidifying what we were about, because when we first start out, we're all really young, and we have this like really cutesy, like maybe like very innocent type of image, I think, if I could describe it like that. And then when New ABO came out, it was like this really, really dark, almost like trance-like dance song. And it had like the performance for that song was choreographed by Reno Nakasone, who is an amazing choreographer, and it just was like the perfect like mix of again, the interesting haircuts, the interesting styling, that trancey dark dance beat with this really interesting choreography. And I think people started realizing that, like, oh, FX is interesting. So, and then we've been doing that interesting type of music for a while, and I think eventually just kind of also influenced my career as a solo artist to this day.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Justin?
Is that it? You good?
Yeah. What about you, baby bro?
Just making sure. You know how awkward it is on lives? It's
Yeah.
like you're talking and then you're not sure. You try to interject, but you're like still talking on the other end. Anyways. Well, I'll start by saying, well, first and foremost, when I was younger, Amber was super famous. So yeah, it's kind of crazy for me to be, I guess, living this life and, knowing her and even calling her my big sis. And, oh, man. I think about my life every day. I'm getting older. I'm 26 now. It's just my birthday. And with age, you really start to think about what you've done, who you were, who you are, and then obviously who you're going to be. So thinking back, I really still say, and, I still have like flashbacks of tour with Amber. I still have it posted on my wall back there. I don't know if you see it. Right here.
I have a
Right
lot of
about there.
embarrassing videos of us sharing our hotel room.
I have it tatted on my neck.
I have it
Wow.
on
X,
my
baby.
arm.
Tour X.
Where
Forever.
is it? Right there.
So to answer the question, I think my biggest break will always be with Amber, and she put me on 2 tours now, all across America. And I think without her, like, I wouldn't be in this position. It wouldn't be the same. God's always got our back, but then there are key players who play a certain role in who you become, your career, all that, And for me, it was with Amber. So
I didn't expect that answer.
I
didn't expect that answer.
Oh, I gotta go.
I didn't expect it. Oh,
I'm sorry. I had to.
Well, also, like, I do want to mention Justin getting shouted out by the royalty right now, BTS, and this is the thing, like, I always, like, when I met Justin, like, I was like, this kid can sing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like not only the voice, but it's the heart behind that voice. And for like when On the Low came out and the Places Like Home album came out, I had that. Oh, sorry, my bad. I didn't mean to cuss. I had those records on repeat, and for him to start like to get his I've seen Justin grind for so long and just just work so hard that his music and his voice and he's being recognized by so many more artists out there. It's just really, really, I don't know, maybe just as a big sis to just see his growth. And
Crazy.
you know, I don't know.
Hallelujah.
I don't know.
I think this is the reason why I thought this would be such a fascinating conversation, because it's pretty rare that two folks have this type of like bond and relationship and true connection. And it's a beautiful thing. So I'm glad that we're able to kind of like get you guys together and talk about your experiences so far. I'm noticing some questions and a lot of comments in the chat. I forgot to mention at the beginning of this thing that we're going to carve out some time for some Q&A at the end. So stay tuned. We're going to get to your questions. We're just going to cover a few more topics, but yeah, I want you guys to know that. I'm going to shift gears a little bit and talk about our culture, the community. So I'm Filipino American, grew up in LA, and I think this is a pretty common thing amongst Asian American families, right? When I told my parents, hey, I want to be in music, they kind of looked at me blankly and were like, what does that mean? They were very supportive, but it wasn't obviously their first choice coming from the Philippines and immigrating here. So I'm always curious because everybody seems to have that experience. I wanted to ask you both, like, what did your family think when you said, hey, I want to be a musician, I want to be a pop star, I want to work in the industry? Tell me a little bit about that.
JP, you go. JP, you go, bro.
Okay.
Bro.
Are you sure?
Yeah, you go, man.
Okay. Well, for me, I think initially my mom had. Well, first and foremost, I grew up with my mom for most of my life. Unfortunately, my dad had left us when I was younger. So shout out to my mom. I love her so much. Like, she is my everything and has always been my reason to just go hard. So shout out to her. And it was tough in the beginning. So I was 17 when I first told my mom that instead of going to college, I wanted to do music. And that's still, in my opinion, I think it's a pretty brash decision. And one that I didn't know I was ready for, but I made it happen. And thank God to my team, 5A label, I'm here today, luckily, instead of homeless in the streets. But anyways, yeah. My mom had a, typical Asian mom reaction, like, no, you're going to go to college. I can't allow you to just do music and without having a safety or a plan B to fall on. And, for me, I always carried this attitude where it's like, I have so much confidence in myself, especially if I dedicated my heart to something. And I told my mom, there is no plan B for me. Like, this is it. And I know I'd rather die than I'd rather die a horrible death than to forego my dreams and to say that I had folded or to say that I had not done everything that I could to achieve what I wanted with my one life. That's all I have to say.
I'm very happy you pursued music.
I wouldn't be here doing this with you, sis, if I didn't.
Yeah,
so.
I know.
Literally thank God every time.
Yeah, every time.
Every time.
I feel like, yeah, very similar, same thing. It was just kind of like, I always kept my love for the arts very, very under wraps because, like my parents, when they immigrated to the States, they want stability, like for us. They want stability for us. That's why they tell us, to go get those, the lawyer, the doctor, the engineer job. My dad was an engineer. He grew up, he came to the States when he was, I want to say 13, 14, and he grew up very poor, and he's worked so hard to provide a living for my mom, my sister, and I. And yeah, so like out of left field, I'm like, I want to do music. They're all like, you sing? So I was all like, yeah. So I brought that up to my parents when I got scouted that day, and I think at the time I was doing well in school. I had my group of friends, and I don't know, I just liked to study at the time. I love math. Typical stereotype, whatever.
Wait, really?
Dude, I was in like pre-cal already in my
I
sophomore
hate
year.
math so much.
I love math.
Oh.
I love math and science. I'm a math and science kid. But my dad was more like, he's realistic. He's just like, you want to throw away right now your very high GPA to pursue music, like what the hell are you what the hell are you talking about? But I think, but my dad, I was like, Dad, come on, like give me a deal. Like, what's the deal? And the deal was basically, get straight A's or I can't go to the audition.
Mm.
Um, and I'm not trying to brag, but I did have straight A's. So I knew why my dad was doing that. He was all like, if you don't work hard for it, you can't, then it's no proof that you're not going to work hard when you pursue this new, very, very unsteady path that you're going to go down. My mom, on the other hand, was extremely supportive. My mom was a model growing up. She modeled till she was like in her mid 20s, and then she immigrated to the States. And she was supportive because when she had to quit modeling due to the dark side of the industry, and she was like, I want you to pursue what you love, and I know that you love this. So, prove your dad wrong and just go work as hard as you can, but make sure you love it at the same time. So, I think I had both worlds, the good and the bad, but also like my dad, his strictness also really taught me to, you know, be real. It's not just like, oh, I'm dreaming of being an artist. I want to be an artist. I'm gonna sing. It's you got to work at it too, and there's a way to work at it, and you got to figure that out.
Amen.
Hard work pays off. That's
Yeah.
always the key right there. I know people are joining. So if you just joined, we are in conversation with Amber Liu and Justin Park in celebration of ASCAP's AAPI Heritage Month. It's been amazing so far. I'm going to keep it going. So this is going to be an interesting question, I think. Since we are talking about AAPI community, oh yeah, what kind of
I just have a latte with
cafe?
almond milk.
Okay, all right, I got to get caffeinated. So we're all from the community, from the AAPI community. The question I had, coming up as part of the community, did each of you ever have any challenges that you had to face, or felt like you had some extra challenges to face coming up as part of that community? We're trying to shine a light on the idea that sometimes people from the community, they feel like an other or a less than. So I wanted to talk more about that because you're obviously models of success and getting to a certain level of success. So, there's a lot of people out here on the chat and in Instagram Live trying to get to where you're at. And I think it'd be important for them to hear about that experience maybe. So I don't know, Amber, you want to go first? And if anything
Uh,
comes to mind?
I think, well, when I grew up, my mom only spoke Mandarin. My dad spoke fluent English, but my mom spoke Mandarin. But my mom was always present at home. And I always felt this like disconnect with my mom, because my Mandarin is just complete trash. It's so bad.
No, it's
It's
not.
improved. It's improved significantly now.
Yeah.
But I I think, and then when I went to Korea, you know, I did not speak fluent Korean, so I always felt like, I felt othered, and I felt like I didn't belong just due to that language barrier. But that experience really, really, um, just opened my heart to, I guess, the just like, oh, like this is something that happens. And I'm like, wow, my mom, when she went to the States, she must have just completely was like, if I'm checking out already, like, how did my mom feel? So I think it's, well, number one, it's not like a, oh, okay, snap, we're all good, it's fine. It's number one, it's an ongoing battle. It's a road, it's a marathon, um for this, I guess that feeling of, okay, I'm not like, I'm not an outcast. I'm not some weird person. But I think number two, it's uh, just having, it's like compassion and empathy. Like also realizing, like I always thought, like, am I the weird person? Am I like, oh, but it's also like, maybe other people feel the same way. And I think that with my community, as I've grown up and my fans have grown up with me, we've like understood that I'm like, oh wow, I'm not like, I always felt weird that I'm like a superstar, like no no no, but I'm like, but I'm also just a human being as well. Obviously, I'm not ignoring like the mean people, the meanie poo poo heads in the world, but I think in all this darkness there is light, and you have a choice to be part of that light as well.
Dang, amen, dude.
That was on the fly. I should write a song about that. Let's go.
Literally.
Okay, I'm kidding.
Dude, you were preaching for a second there. Oh wow. Real quick,
Well,
I want to. Oh yeah.
Sorry. Let me tag on this real quick. I want to say that Justin was one of those people that really, really helped me through it. I like baby bro. I want to say that baby bro Justin Park. When I met him, I was like, "Who is this kid? He's so tall, coming in with this run and all this stuff. Like he thinks like." And I was just like, and then when I started talking with Justin, I was like, "Oh, he's so sweet."
Yeah.
He's a little.
Don't forget, I'm a goofball.
You're a goofball. That's what you are. And
I'm the weirdest guy, dude.
And it's just we just down to, and he like, it's again that sense of like, I think that willingness to open up and that vulnerability. I think Justin's really taught me about that, because I was just like work doing this. Oh, I gotta please people. I gotta make the quota. But Justin's really, I think was one of the first people when I came back to LA to really open me up to just like, Amber, just feel it. Hey, just vibe. It's cool. And I think when you find people, and it wasn't based on like, we have very different genres. We have very different just, I think not very different goals. I think I want to say we just have very different colors and styles.
Yeah.
But it's that sense of like compassion and empathy towards each other, and the willingness to help each other.
Yeah.
And our choice to be that light for each other that kind of kept us going.
Amen, dude. I wanted to say too, like when talking about Amber's situation too, like I thought about this like a lot when I was younger too. I mean, imagine going to a country where it's just one of those people and everyone else is, other. It's kind of crazy to me, right? So like I want to give it up for Amber for being who she is first and foremost, for having that light, and for being accepted for who she is, and then being loved by her members. You know what I'm saying? I know the story about how FX was like, you know what I'm saying? You were absolutely loved and adored by so many people. So shout out to her for that. And then going on to my story, I suppose. Wait, the question was, we're talking about.
So
okay,
question,
yeah, I got it. So in America, for me, on the flip side, I guess I was both lucky and unlucky to be in places where it was always so diverse, right? So, I was born in Koreatown, the Good Samaritan Hospital bordering downtown in Koreatown. And then I moved to Eagle Rock, where at the time, early 2000s, right? Maybe like 1999, 2000. Super diverse area. And I would say that Eagle Rock probably wasn't one of the best places to live, obviously because my family wasn't too well off. And, my life consisted of that kind of environment for a long time. I would be around all sorts of people, you know what I'm saying? Armenians, Mexicans, Colombians. Oh my goodness, like, American white people, like just everybody, you know what I'm saying? And then later in my life, I would be around more Asian people. So I'm not sure if you can tell by my talk or, not so much by how I look. I look pretty Korean, I'm not gonna lie. But I'm super, super American, and that's because, of how I grew up and where I grew up, and I think. And for me, it was tough. I'm not gonna lie. Being one of the only Asian kids in a private school, and then after that another private school, and then public school and another public school, wow, it was tough. I'm not gonna lie to you. My first experience running into, I suppose, a sort of racism was like in second grade. So young, right? I was at private school, and I had brought some curry to school that my mom made for me. And, you know, at this point, it's nothing weird. Curry is curry. It's an amazing food. And that's what I thought. And so I went to school with this amazing bowl of curry. And when I busted out, you know, it's brown, right? So all the kids looked at me and were like, oh, what's that smell? Like, he's eating poop. Oh my God. And for me at the time, of course, it was so traumatic. I went home and I remember screaming at my mom, like, I hate you. Like, why did you give me that food? Why did you send me to school with this? And like, obviously looking back at that, it breaks my heart, you know, because like to be the mom, you know, to be my mom in that moment, being screamed at by your kid, not truly understanding, because she moved here when she was 18. So she doesn't really understand what kids in America are like. For me, that was a traumatic and heartbreaking, but also character building moment. And, you know, all throughout my life, moments like that existed, you know, where people would look at me, obviously because I'm different, because I have a totally different background from most people, you know. But on a sort of hopeful note, I want to share with you what I've been experiencing more recently. Obviously because of people like Amber Liu, BTS, Jackson Wang, and, you know, amazing people in the industry. Blackpink, can't forget them. I think that Asian people as a whole have been sort of, you know, put on a pedestal, and sometimes I'm against this, but we're put in a different light, and I think that we're breaking apart from the stereotypes, and I think that's what we need. And I know that my sis and I are fighting for this very same thing. I know my brother up there is as well. And so, you know, now when I walk into these rooms where it's super diverse, and I want to share with you, like, I'm in places now that it's a little more Hollywood, and obviously people are a little weird up here, but they start to look at me not with like, ew, you're weird, more like, oh, who's that? You know what I'm saying? And I'd much rather have that than, ew, you're weird, you're not like us. I'd rather them be a little bit more surprised and like, oh, what are you? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because that leads to getting to know who we are. It gives us the opportunity to then explain. It opens the doors, and that's all we need. So that's my story.
That's interesting, Justin. Same thing for me too. Like, I think when I first started out, and then there were, like, you know, a couple like stops where my group and I would tour in the States, and then we would leave again. And like throughout the years, I've also seen that like they've like the business aspect of it used to, like, the like 99% of the reactions that I would get when I would walk into a room is that they number one would not even know what K-pop is. Yeah. They know what Asian music was. They like, and I think now in other conversations on like in behind the scenes, it would just be all like, okay, Asian artists have one specific like marketing way, or like a strategy to break into so and so and so forth. But now it's more like, it's a lot more open, and it's interesting, but it's nice to see that change, especially also in Asia as well. Like, you were kind of pigeonholed into one type of genre back then, but now you see many artists doing everything, and I think that goes for other in other parts of the world as well. But I do definitely see like a big change, front end and back end. So cool. Good job, Justin. Let's do it. We doing it.
Good job to you both. I think one of the things that we are trying to do here in this space, and then the rest of the AAPI Heritage Month like celebration at ascap, is like share the different diverse stories within the AAPI culture and community, right? Like, we're not a monolithic thing. There's not one thing to be, or meaning to be Asian or AAPI. We're all coming from different backgrounds. So I think, you know, thanks again for taking the time to talk about your stories, because it's important for people to realize that everybody has unique perspectives that they're bringing to the table. And it's important to honor that. So, you know, one of the things that, which is so beautiful to just witness, is like your relationship, right? It seemed like Amber early in your career, Justin, was like a formative force in getting you to where you're at. And I think one of the things that we tout at ascap, right, is collaboration and finding your mentors, finding your tribe, finding the people that you can look to to look forward and also learn from. So I'm interested in asking both of you, when you were kind of growing up, or even maybe recently, are there people within the AAPI community that you see as mentors or examples of excellence that you're trying to kind of emulate and get to? Because I think it's always important for people who might be further on the career to like talk about that, because sometimes people who might be starting out are thinking, well, where do I start? And it's important to hear your stories when it comes to mentorship, I think. So I wanted to ask that.
Justin, go.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, you go first, bro.
Okay. I feel like I've had good answers because like Amber would talk and I'd be thinking the whole time. Anyways, well, firstly, I'd like to say, well, I think for me, my biggest inspiration for sure is my mom, because man, like, you know, I've had talks with her about how hard her life's been, and like y'all don't realize, but like in Korea, like the Korean War was only like 70 years ago, so like 1950, right? That's when the Korean War happened, and that's like that's not too much time before my mom was born. And man, just history is a trip, is what I'm trying to say. First and foremost, get to know your parents, because especially if you're an immigrant, because you have no idea what they went through to get here. And then if they were younger, like my mom came here right before the age of when she should have been in college, like 17, 18, right? And so I asked her about that, and that was like a trip. Like she did so many things, worked so many jobs, had to be so many people to survive. And then later she got into working a position at Pixar, being an animator. Like, what the heck? Like, what a story. So, I mean, I wish to live my life accordingly. I want to live, you know, the way I want to, like, much like her. And, geez, man. Another mentor that I have up to, like, for forever is Peter. I think he might be watching this right now. He is CEO and my manager of 5A label. Amber knows him very well as well. Of course, Amber, you know. Man, guys, I'll tell you, Amber, frick, man, she's insane. She has the work ethic of a god. Like, there needs to be a podcast, something. No, dude, seriously, like, I would sit back sometimes and watch Amber, like, dude, record for hours. Like a singer can't even last past 3 hours, and I'll tell you this from just experience. This girl will be in the studio for like 8 hours maybe, writing, recording, like what? So just if there's anything that I can say lastly, man, it's, well, first and foremost, go for your dreams, no matter who you are, what color you are, whatever you think people are going to think, but you don't even care. And then work hard as hell, as if like, you know what I'm saying, this is your last breath. You got to work so hard at it and value it. That's all I got to say.
It's so crazy. Like with Justin and I, like when I came back to the States, I think around like maybe 3 years ago, um, I spent so much time away from home that I felt just like it just felt like I didn't connect. Like I didn't have my roots, if that kind of makes sense. It's just like I didn't have like a foundation. And I was talking with my aunt, who's my dad's oldest sister. And when they moved to, they actually when they came to the States, they lived in Los Feliz before it developed. And it was interesting hearing stories about LA, and how when my dad and my uncles were growing up, how like soda was such a huge treat. Like they would fight over Coke cans.
Yeah.
And the times that they would go to this street corner and this happened. And so like it's just I really resonate with what Justin said. Is just like really knowing how your like just having that conversation with your parents and getting to know them as a human being, and not as like, oh, you're my mom and dad. It's like it brings them to it brings a different light to them.
Yes.
And with like my mom too, she was like because her sisters immigrated first and then my mom came last. It's just kind of seeing like just viewing them as a human being. And I always reference this. I've been really recently listening to a lot of Sasha Alex Sloan. There's a song called Older, and it's like the older I get, the more like the more that I know that my parents aren't here, they're just like me, you know, like things
Mm.
like that. You just kind of like, like that's what it is.
Amen.
And then obviously, us as kids growing up, we have such a different experience. So like, yeah, definitely like our parents, our families, like, you know, they do bring a different like oomph to our like life. I don't know. I just felt like more I had a foundation because again, just running around my whole life, I just was like, okay, job to job to job to country to this stage to this job. I don't have that stability, and I really felt my anchor, I guess, having my family just kind of talk with me. My sister's another huge mentor of mine. I don't know, she just has, I don't know, some like she has some key to life. And she would talk me down from things.
She
But
does.
like, yeah, you know, she keeps me in check. I think definitely like I don't know, like mentors, like I would want to say like role models as well. Like I don't know, growing up, I saw like Lucy Liu on screen.
Mm.
We have like Jackie Chan, Bruce Lee, Jet Li. Like I don't know, like it's not, even
Same,
though
same.
they're in a different field, it's just kind of that. Um, I don't know, like it's just so cool to see them on screen growing. Like, oh, that's someone like me.
Yeah.
Like you know, Bruce Lee's always like there's that famous saying like, you know, be like water.
Be like,
So I
yeah.
would always like to kind of take that like, okay, adapt to where I am. I don't know, it's kind of cheesy, but like I had that like when I was in Korea, like just adapt, be like water, adapt. So but also like I'm just not just because Baby Bro said it, but I think Baby Bro's like kind of like my mentor too, because he brought such a different world to me. You know, I was, you know, we've had very many talks on the balcony of the 5A studio.
This is true. I can co-sign this. This message is approved.
Yeah, so it's just kind of like every time I was feeling down and just really in my head, like I think we've talked each other out of really dark places, and we still like call each other. I want to say that I will apologize to Justin for not picking up as much because I suck at that stuff.
She's been in
But
China, so I was like, she probably doesn't even have a phone right now. I don't know.
I was just like I had my, I don't know, like I just, it's been so weird. I just been not around my phone.
I understand.
But you know, like Baby Bro and I talk like family, and what we are family, and it's just kind of like I think anybody can be helpful as long as you like, it's just like that vulnerability.
Yeah.
You know, like Brian, I think the things that you're trying to do, and the couple times that we've met up and talked about things, like, you know, I've learned from you, and or you've like spurred something for me to learn, you know. um so it's just like, again, be like water, adapt, like soak in things. I don't know, like Bruce
Message
Lee.
of the
Let's
day
just
right
go.
There
Just
you
Bruce
go.
Lee. Just be Bruce Lee. That's all it is.
Shout out to Bruce Lee. Shout out to all the immigrant parents out there and their experiences. Shout out to Don Bosco, you know, from Hook, you know. Yeah, this is all amazing things to hear from you, because it's funny. I'm sure there's somebody out there right now that's looking at both of you and feeling the same way as like Amber felt about Bruce Lee, you know. And you don't realize the reach and like your power as a public figure to inspire. So, you know, this is just amazing. It's great to hear where you're all coming from.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. Okay, I think I have one last question for you, and then maybe we can get into some questions from the chat. But I mean, we haven't talked about music, right? Because you guys are musicians. You guys got a lot of stuff going on. Amber, you just released Z earlier this year. I think it was like February. And then, you know, Justin Shady came out a couple weeks ago now, and you're all touring. Tell me a little bit about like what's coming up next in terms of playing shows, albums, music, all that, because I know everyone's interested in that too.
Who's
going first?
Well, as Brian mentioned, my album Z, my EP Z came out earlier this year. We're working on um, something called, I don't know, just like a compilation of like all three EPs that I've released, XYZ, something like that. um, but working on just a lot of music. I've been actually focusing a lot of my time these days just more on my mental health because I think I've just been traveling a lot and you know, just kind of figuring out who I am. I'm in the studio. I'm in quarantine right now. My roommate got COVID last week, so just trying to be safe. But I've just been in the studio constantly, just focusing my time there, and really just focusing on just like writing. That's what I want to do. Is I just want to be. I know I love to write, and I love to just find the little melodies and the little earworms. And I maybe might be touring, not sure, but as of right now, just more music to come out, hopefully next couple months, and uh, hope everybody likes it because I think it's very different. It's very
solid.
different. Yes.
I took a listen to it. It's solid.
Oh.
Don't have to worry, girl.
I try, but baby bro, do your thing now.
Okay. Well, shoot, Amber's been super busy, so now finally I'm getting busy too, guys. For a lot of you guys who don't know who I am, again, my name is Justin Park, R&B singer from Los Angeles. I just dropped a song called Shady a couple days ago. It's doing really well, and I'm dropping a whole album this Friday. We haven't promoted it too much because I kind of wanted it to be a little secret, but you know, now it's coming out. It's called I Can See the Stars From Here. It's a full 12-song album. There's going to be so many vibes on this body of work. I put 4 years behind this album, so I hope you guys like it. I've also released a Spanish single, my first ever Spanish single, Mi Vida. It's out. It's doing really well, actually. The Spanish community loves it. Latinos, Hispanics, they all love it. Colombia, Mexico, everybody's tapping in, so go check it out. I'm also going on tour, super excitingly. Unfortunately, it's not with Amber this time, but we will make another one, right, Amber?
Yes, we will.
I hope so. Hopefully Amber puts me on another tour, but this time around in July, I'm going on tour with Social House. They're the guys who made Ariana Grande's last album. Positions, amazing music, so pray for me, guys. Come see me on tour. I'm actually going to release the info today right after this, so yeah, thank you ascap, thank you Brian for having us, thank you Amber.
Thank you.
Of course, thank you, baby bro.
We got a little bit of time left. Should we try to answer some questions from the chat right now?
Yes, please.
Let's see what we have here. I see some interesting ones. All right, this is a good one. This is from Linda Wayne Photography. If you weren't doing what you're doing now, what would you be doing instead? Do you think you'll still be in the industry now in some other way? It's an alternate multiverse stuff here.
Ooh, multiverse.
Mm-hmm.
You want to go? You want me to go?
You go first. I need some time to think.
Okay, I have my answer. For me, I feel like simple answer. I think I would have done something along with something with business. You know, I don't see myself. Oh, maybe acting. Maybe I would want to stay in entertainment for sure. But yeah, my answer is super simple. I'd probably be in business or an actor or something.
Amazing. Still in the cards.
Yeah, it still is. Oh man, I feel like because I've answered this question in the past. Like I think I'd be in the science field or something.
Scientist.
Yeah, I really want to. I don't know. I have this like fascination kind of with I don't want to say it's not waste management, but like environmental, like waste management for like the environment.
Environmental science, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm also very guilty of like, you know, not being the best. I'm just more like, okay, how do I recycle? Because like when you're in Asia, in parts of Asia, you have to separate your trash to like plastics to like little like the vinyl plastics to like like it's like kind of crazy. So
yeah,
I was like, man, why don't we have this system in the States?
We should. We really should.
We really should. But I think I don't know. No, now that I'm almost 30 now, so I'm like,
No, you're not. You're 21.
oh, did I think I miscalculated
Dude,
my age.
stop
Wow, you're
Yeah,
lying,
right.
dude.
Oh
think
yeah,
you
You
did.
just skipped like 9 years, dude. You're 21. Why are you lying to them, bro? Yeah.
Oh god,
Brian's
baby
22.
I'm
boy.
22
Mine's
forever.
22. And Justin, you're the oldest. You're 23.
Yeah, right. There you go.
You're Oppa today.
Hey.
I don't know. I've had this. I've been kind of more. I've been I always used to say like, okay, biology, chemistry, or something, environmental sciences. But I think recently, like, if I were just were in hypothetical to quit today, I think I would go into some type of uh I don't know. I think due to the recent obsession with Minecraft, I've been playing every day, just straight up Minecraft. I kind of wanted to go into something like architecture, or like contractor work.
Yeah, yeah.
I
You want to be
think
an
that would be
architect?
fun.
Nice.
All due to the fact that I've been playing Minecraft these days.
I could see that. I could see that. Real estate agent.
Real
and
estate agent.
Amber
Oh
Lou.
god.
Oh my god.
Minecraft.
You have a real estate agent's name too. Amber Lou. I could see you on those little lawn
Those billboards.
yeah, lawn billboards.
Coming to a bus bench near you soon,
Oh
Amber
my
Lou.
Exactly.
I have
yes.
Like this.
I have a fun one here, because I love my food. I'm a foodie. What's your favorite food? That's been like a couple of questions. What are you guys into right now, eating wise?
Tacos. Always tacos. Tacos and
LA.
salads, man.
Ooh. I'm surprised Amber didn't say hot Cheetos or Takis or something.
Well, the base gotta be hot. It gotta be the hot, like, I want carne asada. I love chorizo these days.
Okay.
And then I gotta have my nice Caesar salad on the side with boba.
With boba. That's
With
such an
boba.
eclectic collection of foods. See, Amber's so diverse, y'all. She took it from Rome, Caesar salad, to tacos, then she took it to Asia. What? That's crazy.
Sounds like a Vegas buffet right there. I love it.
Yeah, dude, you're so Chinese. Amber.
I do love Vegas, so.
And you got the crab legs in there too, or what?
Ooh, crab legs.
Crab legs.
I'm just joking. I'm joking. Favorite food. I think I'm pretty simple, man. I like barbecue a lot, like ribs, steaks, ribeye, tri-tip. Oh, I'm salivating right now. Pizza's good. I like boba too. I think that's pretty much it. I think I could eat Korean barbecue every day though, every single day.
I think I can too. I think that's
There's this
everyone's jam.
Yeah.
Dude, there's this one salad at Korean barbecue, and I will not even eat the Korean barbecue. I'll just eat the salad the whole time. It's like marinated with like a little bit of vinegar and like chili powder and stuff. It's bomb.
But it's
I'll
like
just go
sweet
for the
and
salad.
savory. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Someone needs
quick.
to catch that sauce.
Real quick, I'm gonna put you both
Someone
in the
should.
spot. What's your favorite KBBQ spot in LA for the people out there?
Oh.
I know it's a tough question. Coming with the tough questions now.
I know mine. I just forgot the name. What is it called?
In K-Town, I think it's gotta be the Gangwon-do Baekjeong. So that's in like, I think it's something Plaza.
Chapman Plaza.
Chapman Plaza. There we go.
Plaza. Yep.
I would go with the sister of Gangwon-do. It's Agashi Gopchang. Same order.
Ooh,
Same
Agashi's really good
Yep.
too.
It's very similar. Very similar.
Those intestines, they're good.
So good.
Mm.
I'm sure all of these guys don't like it though. What do you guys think about large and small intestines for a cream barbecue?
You never know.
Amazing.
All right.
Amazing.
Maybe one more question here, because we're getting there to the time limit. You know what? We touched upon this a little bit. I think it's important to talk about real quick. Like, May is actually Mental Health Awareness Month too, right? So a couple of questions that come up where people are asking, when you get discouraged or you like get into adversity or you're feeling down, like what are some ways that you both are dealing with it right now? Because I think that'd be helpful for people to know.
Mm,
Mm.
damn, this one actually hits home.
Okay.
I've
Yeah.
through tough times every day. Oh man. What about you,
Justin,
Amber?
you wanna go first? You.
I don't know my answer yet. I didn't think for
Oh, okay. I'll go first then. Well, I think it kind of goes from, talk like again, Justin and I have a lot of our balcony talks.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's, I think just talking to somebody, is number one.
that's so
Just
true.
kind of, letting people around know that, how you're feeling and, if they can support you in some way, like I think to remind yourself that you are loved and people do care for you. That I think one thing that's really like screwed with my head was like it's like the competitiveness in the industry or just within the world actually.
Mm,
I think it's a constant like battle in my head that I didn't do like okay, this song didn't do better than this song, or like I wasn't, you know, I'm not charting, or like it could be so many things like oh I didn't do this, I didn't cook a meal better than I did yesterday. It could be anything that just kind of like sets you off. I think for me it's gone to a point where like I do see a professional every week. I do very much advocate for seeking professional help when it gets, even before it gets too much actually. I've
heck yeah.
heard that with therapy
Mm-hmm.
it should be something that just kind of like they're not, you're not going there to, when things are, in an emergency. Like you should go in an emergency, yes, but if you can just go to therapy. um uh right now I'm getting better, I'm good, but I'm not stopping my therapy. But I want to keep it going, and it's nice to just talk to somebody and just kind of, really set like actual like okay goals to like okay I need to do this and this and this is what I'm doing. One thing I've been learning is actually slowing down. I Yes, working hard is very very much within my blood, but I think it's also applying that hard work to also my mental health is also extremely important, because without my head being in a good space, you can't do anything.
Yeah.
And I think it was like I know it doesn't seem like a big deal, but it was a really big deal to me to stop. Like I haven't been streaming on Twitch these days. I don't like, go out into networking parties as often anymore, or at all actually. I
Mm,
just stopped everything and I was like, I'm gonna focus on one thing. I'm not gonna be on social media. I'm not gonna be, going left and right. I'm just gonna stick to one thing and I'm gonna just only do this for a while. And I think that was a huge step for me. And I'm quite enjoying it actually. And even though I think I'm always panicked because the pace of the world is so fast. But then I also realize like, well, whether I'm running fast or running slow, it's always gonna be there. So I gotta figure me out before I run. I gotta train to run the 100 miles before I can just take off and run the 100 miles, if that makes sense.
true. That's so true.
So true.
Yeah,
So true.
Good.
yeah, yeah,
Dang.
yeah.
Amber had a lot of good things to say. I
Wow.
want to piggyback off of a lot of that actually. Okay. Oh, I was gonna say, I think for the viewers, like it's gonna be interesting to think of this live in a sort of, Amber's a veteran artist, right? She's been doing this since she was really young, and I have too, but she's been doing it on a massive scale, like way bigger than mine. But I'm an up and coming artist, and my name is just beginning to, really just become global or whatever, popularized. And to have the opinions of both people, I think is super interesting, because I'm in the total opposite place where I have to go out and go to all the parties I can, go meet all the influencers I can to do content, to do stuff. And holy crap, I'll tell you guys, it is so draining. And not even just energy wise. Like, I feel like sometimes I give a part of my soul to do stuff, to do these things, and to continue no matter how my body feels, no matter how my mind feels, you know, I guess I'm kind of stuck in this zone, stuck in this place where I'm like, dude, so many people are asking things from you and you have no choice but to do it because it's a part of your job. And then even if I'm so tired, like I have to try at least 100%, right? Or at least a little bit lesser than that, or very close to 100% to appeal to fans, to appeal to people who have taken the moment out of their day to post about me, to say hello in person, you know, all these things. And I feel like it's really, really, really hard. And I didn't think that I would feel like this, but I guess how I deal with it, and I'm really still figuring this out. Like, it's really hard. But I guess how I try to figure it out is just like Amber said, take some time to yourself, like by yourself, just you, and go do something that is going to make you feel better. Like, go paint if you like to paint, go cook. I cook all the time, and I feel like that's my one way of just kind of escaping the earth, literally, like I'm not even here when I cook. And then obviously third reason, go hang out with your friends, but you know, don't hang out with people who don't really know you. Go hang out with the people who you truly love and can call your brothers or sisters, because they know you the best and they know you through and through. I hope that you have people like this in your life, but if you don't, try to work towards it, because like Amber said, you know, when I talk to Amber, when she talks to me, like these are perspectives that, you know, just they don't coexist together all the time. So when I ask Amber for support, Amber for her perspective, it gives me something that I don't already have. You know what I'm saying? So it takes me to somewhere that I can, you know, or at least my mind or me physically, I can do better. I can be better with her advice, her knowledge, because I'm pretty sure she's been there too. So obviously go talk to somebody, someone you love, talk to your mom, talk to your dad, someone who knows you. And then again, the whole therapist thing, I feel like this whole therapy thing has been like a wave. People are doing it more often now. And for me as well, I did therapy when I was a lot younger because I needed it. So when I went through family therapy when I was a kid, and I'll tell you, it helped me so much. You know, when I, especially, and I'll tell you right now, this everything coincides. Like, me being Asian American in America at that time, it was so hard. Kids would bully me so hard that I needed to go to therapy in third grade. My mom put me in therapy because like she didn't know what to do, and I would come home from school every day like, Mom, the kids hate me. I don't have friends. I remember one time I had my dad go to the 99-cent store with me. We bought a fat bag of candy, and my dad's like, bet you after tomorrow you're gonna have so many friends. I was up there like, hey, you have something. Here you go. Oh, hey, my name's Justin, by the way. Take this. I'm Justin, okay? See you tomorrow. Charlie.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so it's tough. It's really tough. And, you know, for me, sometimes it's all smiles, but you don't really truly know what a person's going through unless you talk to them. So I think last thing I'll say is I really try this to the death of me. Like, try to be the light of the earth, like Amber's saying. Like, be happy, try to be optimistic, try to bring other people up, like whoever it may be, somebody in the streets, your friends, anybody. Like, I really just try to be positive all the time. Obviously we fail, but try your best. I think that's the most important thing. So.
Yeah. And also know that it's okay to have down days. I think that's something that, like,
So true.
I think we're always like, you know, I think now with like social media being
Social
so much more in
media,
our face, we have like the graph. We gotta graph our things, and like you've like scaled up this much this month. Oh my gosh, your numbers dropped. Like, it's like,
yeah.
You're not a number. You're a human being.
Dang, she said it.
You are a human being.
She said
it. Yes, I come from a very different background. Brian, you and I, like, we have different backgrounds. Justin, me and you have different backgrounds, but it's always to, like, I guess, just go in knowing that you're not alone. And there are people that, you know, just are feeling the same way you do, or something similar. You know, Justin and I think we've again during our balcony talks have always just like, even though Justin you didn't even know what to do for me, or I didn't know what to do for Justin, like, we just hear each other out. Yeah. You know, give each other a big hug, and then we go get boba.
There you go.
Sure. Yeah, sometimes that's all it takes, like feeling like you're cared for. You know?
Yeah.
Well, I think you taking the time to do this and talk about your stories. I mean, that's self-care for yourself, and also like there's going to be people out there listening to this that got a lot out of it too. So being the light in this world, I think that's definitely a check for you guys today. So I'm very proud to been a part of this and appreciate you taking time, because I know how much your schedules are busy and how much you have on your plate. This is one of the best things I've been involved in. So thank you. Any parting words before we say goodbye to the folks of Instagram?
Justin.
Well, everybody, let me remind you that me and Amber love you today. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, yeah. Now giving it to Amber. You don't have to say. I'm just.
Damn.
Dang. Okay.
To be honest, this is what I love about it. He can just sing everything. I'm like, Justin and I in the studio are just two different people. I'm the quiet one that just like stares, just hums, and then writes. He's always freestyling. So it's I love him so much. So thank you for having us, Brian and ascap. Thank you so much for hosting this. Baby bro, I missed you. I gotta call you again soon. Please support Justin. Everybody, love you. Know you're not alone. Have an amazing day. Go for a walk. Go play some games. Go call your parents. Call your siblings if you have one. And just enjoy life. And hope everybody has the equivalent of a puppy snuggle.
Ooh, yes. Puppy snuggles everywhere. All right.
Puppy
Well,
snuggles.
thank you so much to you both. I'm Brian from ascap. That's been Amber and Justin, and we're gonna sign off. Have a great rest of the day, everyone.
Let's do a double shake, guys.
Is
Bye.
it this way?
Peace, everyone.
Love y'all.
Bye, guys. Peace.